Hello everyone, my name's Alana and I've been a knitter since I was about 8 years old when my best friend came to school one Monday morning with a little knitted bag to keep her bank book in, and I loved it. It was purple marl. So that night I went home and asked my mum, who was a really experienced knitter, if I could knit one and if she would teach me how to do it. So she did. Can't remember what colour mine was. Obviously it wasn't the nicest colour as I would have remembered. But going through my mum's needles, and there was an awful lot of them, I found the original needles that I used to knit on, and they're these. They're not a full set now, obviously. One's pink, one's blue, but there was two blue and two pink because I remember them vividly. So that was a nice thing just to show you about that. So that started me on the knitting bug, but the knitting bug came and went. It wasn't as simple as that. I wouldn't do anything for years, then I'd pick them up again, pick the knitting up again and do other things. But not very successfully. My mum taught me everything, but nowadays you've got YouTube, and honestly, when you're looking at YouTube, there's such clever, experienced knitters who can teach you all sorts of things I've never even heard of, and I thought I was a pretty good knitter. Anyway, garments that I've knitted over the years, I progressed from just plain knitting basically to Aran, hopefully you can see that, Aran, Fair Isle. This is just a double knitting one, and you can see there's holes in that one. Baby clothes. Another one. And a pair of gloves that I've just recently taught myself how to knit on on those magic loop, they're called, aren't they? Magic loop needles, and a pair of socks. And that was quite a challenge because I used double pointed needles, 4 double pointed needles for that, and they were my mum's again, and they were really long ones, and I really struggled to go round and round. So I've actually invested in a new set, which are only small, to do a next pair. So that's a few things that I've done. So why am I doing this video? Well, my brother sent my sister and I a WhatsApp message with an article from, I'll have to look this up, Genevieve Hall Allen. It was written by Genevieve Hall Allen, reporting that fishermen's jumpers, Guernseys as they're called now, were in decline of dying out due to the fact that there aren't enough experienced knitters, and that they have an 8-month waiting list, but not enough knitters to knit them. So if you fancied knitting them, give them a call. And my brother messaged at the bottom of this WhatsApp message with, well, there's a job if you want one. So I had thought in the past, on and off, being a test knitter, but due to the demands of life, being busy all the time and allotment garden, etc., I worried that I wouldn't be able to meet the deadline, and that would be unfair. So I never did that. Anyway, my sister then messaged back saying that my brother-in-law had always wanted one of these jerseys, and my mum was going to knit one, but her eyesight had deteriorated that much that she was unable to do it. And you knit these jumpers on really fine wool with very thin needles, and the traditional colour being navy, they're very difficult to see if you make a mistake or looking for the pattern. It's hard to see, and they recommend knitting them in spring when the light is increasing. So anyway, he's got a big birthday coming up soon, and I mused over this conversation and I thought, I think I'm going to give it a go. So the next step was looking for patterns, and I knew I had 2 books, one of them being this book by Gladys Thompson, and I've had this years. I bought it from our local library when they were selling books off at one point, and inside it there are lots of different patterns from around the coastline. Now I live in between Whitby and Robin Hood's Bay, and there are patterns for Robin Hood's Bay, and quite a few, I don't know if you can see it very well, but quite a few for Whitby patterns. But I don't think I'm that experienced that I'd be able to do my own pattern, put it in a jersey. So I need to get a pattern already written. This book, by the way, is really good, really good. It's still in print and you can get it from Amazon. So I thought, right, my next book. And my next book was is this one, Aran and Guernsey's, and these designs are designs are by Margaret Kinnard, and it's an emu book. I can't find this, but you might be able to get one from somewhere. It is a lovely booklet, and there are some Guernseys in it. Very difficult to see the patterns because they're so dark. And I like the patterns in here, but they are knitted on 2 needles, and I want to be as authentic as I possibly can be, so I want to knit them on 4 needles, like you see in old photographs when you see the fisher wives and fishermen actually knitting these Guernseys. As I said, I live between Whitby and Robin Hood's Bay, and when I was little, my great uncles were fishermen, and you used to see lots and lots of the fishermen in these fishermen's jumpers, and we used to call them Guernseys. Now they're known as Guernseys, but it's interesting to see that on both of these booklets it says Guernseys. And when I've read inside here, this one, Gladys actually says that they originate from Guernsey, and maybe the word has just changed over the years. Anyway, from now on I'll call them Guernseys, although in my heart they are Guernseys. Right, so I need now to get a pattern and source the wool. So I'm going to knit a Guernsey, and I'm going to take you on the journey with me. Whether you're an experienced knitter or a beginner, I'm sure we can do this together. Or you can just watch the vlog and watch me make my mistakes. But I'll try and record everything. The article went on to say that they take 6 weeks to knit a Guernsey. Well, we'll see how long it takes me. I will have to get my skates on because my brother-in-law's birthday is in February. Whether I will meet the deadline or not is to be seen. So I've basically used this vlog to set the scene, and in the next episode, hopefully I will have sourced a pattern and the wool, and we will go from there. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of history and background, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you for watching.